What's up, BC? It's me, yours truly. If I'm starting out a video like that, you know it has to be dedicated to one person, and that is the one and only MeanMr. Mayo. This is a video response to his 500 subscribers contest. Those of you that know him know how big of a Beatles nut he is, so I thought, doing a response, paying a little tribute to you with your 500 subs, it'd be almost sinful if I didn't have Beatles spinning in the background. So there you go, my friend. But yeah, congratulations on the 500 subs. That's a huge milestone. I think a little bigger than we kind of give credit for too. And I was actually thought about this. Someone had a contest a little while ago. It was about the same number of subs. But one thing to keep in mind is, like, when the BC started, there was just like literally a handful of us, like 10 or 15 of us that were, kind of talking and going back and forth. And then it kind of grew into where it was like a couple of hundred and so forth. But, back then, when there was like 300 or 400 of us, basically, we were all subbed to each other because we were the only ones communicating with each other. So to get 400 or 500 subs 1 or 2 years into the VC was kind of an easy feat because, like I said, everybody was communicating with everybody. Well, now, there's thousands and thousands of people from all over the world, and, you could just flip through YouTube almost every day and find someone who's doing an intro video you've never seen before, or someone you've never seen that already has 8 videos posted or whatever. There's just thousands of people everywhere. So the VC, the pot is a heck of a lot bigger now than it was when we started. But the pot seems to be a little more segmented, where we kind of hook up with the people we talk to regularly, and not that we don't like others, but it's just kind of, you get into like a niche, so to speak. So I think achieving 500 subs now is such a greater feat than achieving 500 subs back when there were even fewer people in the VC. So anyway, I don't know why I'm kind of going all off on that tangent, but again, just a very significant milestone, man, 500 subs. So here's Beatles to you, and then here's the answers to your 5 questions. Number 1, name an album. I'm kind of paraphrasing some of the questions that he had, so you can go actually watch his video. Matter of fact, I'll try to remember to put a link down below to this actual contest video. But paraphrase some of the question. Name an artist or band where their greatest hits album would be enough, where even though they have all this other stuff maybe they've done, you could just take their greatest hits album and you'd be perfectly good with that. Well, obviously, or at least for me, there's a lot of bands I could say that about. Chicago is a good example. You get most of their greatest hit stuff, you're set. Again, just a lot of different bands. Starship is another one for me. But maybe even Outfield, that's another great one. I'm thinking about greatest hits albums I listen to all the time. But the biggest one that kind of came to mind was this one here, which is the Jimi Hendrix Experience. And this is the Ultimate Experience. This is actually the first Jimi anything I ever owned, CD, vinyl, or whatever else. And truly, well, I take that back. If they could add one song on here, actually 2 songs I should say. If Machine Gun was on here, and then, what's the other thing about? Oh, his cover of Like a Rolling Stone. Yeah, this could pretty much satisfy all of my Jimmy needs. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Band of Gypsies and all that stuff as well, but I'm just saying, in general, this is the greatest hits that would not make me feel like I'm missing a bunch of Hendrix as long as I had this CD in my collection. I really wish they had that on vinyl, but so that's probably the one that I would choose, where the greatest hits and done would pretty much take care of me. Question number 2, again, kind of paraphrasing. Name some artists or groups that are kind of big, but maybe you don't quite like them, but I guess overall maybe in the music industry they're pretty well accepted and all that kind of stuff. Again, there's a few that can go there. So what I kind of did was I kind of focused it towards a genre, actually. This kind of covers a lot of groups. And so one of the CDs I happen to actually have is Linkin Park. So pretty much all of that that metal slash rock slash alternative slash, you know, whatever else you can call it, you know, slash hip hop and everything else they mix into it. That's some stuff I have a hard time stomaching. Just like with any genre, I can dive into it and say, oh yeah, that one's okay, that one's okay. Like, for example, I have the Linkin Park CD. I only pay like $1 or $2 for it, but, you know, there's one or two songs and they're like In the End and a couple other things that are okay songs. I mean, enough for me to own the CD. Because again, I don't keep anything in my collection I don't actually like something on. But just in general, that Linkin Park, Good Charlotte, Avenged Sevenfold, like all that crap. Oh, I cannot stand that stuff. But yet, obviously, those groups are huge. And I mean, they tour around the country and fill up stadiums and the whole nine. So that's kind of what I would choose as a artist group thing, genre that's pretty popular, sells millions of records, but I just don't dig at all. So yeah, so we'll kind of move on from that too. Let's see, what else? Question number 3. Artists you like, but maybe kind of embarrassed by, or you know, like other people don't think highly of it, you know, that type of thing. And you know, that's, I've always said, you know, most of the artists that I think are kind of embarrassing and all of that, they're actually kind of the artists that give me the most pride in my musical taste, because it's almost like a confirmation that I truly like what I like and I don't just conform to whatever's supposed to be going on musically. But again, I kind of understand the context of the question. So I thought, we've kind of stumbled across this question a couple times in the VC in different ways. So let me pick something I have not picked before. So I know I've used Barry Manilow in that, Taylor Swift, Wayne Newton. I mean, I pulled out some Don Johnson, all of which I have, you know, on vinyl and so forth. So here's something different. 3 that, again, you know, see what you guys think. Christina Aguilera. You know, and on this baby you got, what, Genie in a Bottle and, what else? I don't know. What a Girl Wants, blah, blah, blah. Kelly Clarkson. This is Breakaway. Of course, you guys know all about that. And then the third one I thought I would show, Britney Spears' Greatest Hits. And no, I didn't buy it for the cover. Pretty cool gatefold, 2 CD set, little booklet over there and everything else. Yeah, so again, yeah, you know, that's how I roll. I can't necessarily say it's the stuff that I brag about in my collection, but again, I only buy stuff if I like it and actually listen to it. So that would be kind of my maybe somewhat embarrassing that other people don't necessarily think as highly of music. Just a few as well. Question number 4. Let's see. Oh, songs that you liked a lot until you heard them overplayed on the radio or something like that, and it absolutely just killed it. There were 3 that came to mind on that. So I'll do the two runners up first. When Tub Thumper first came out, I thought it was kind of a neat song. It was catchy. Oh my gosh, it got played out so fast. I don't even know if I can really stand to listen to that song today at all. I used to bounce at a club. This was, 10 plus years ago. But I used to bounce at this club, and we had a comedy show. And so every time the comedy show let out, and people were coming downstairs, they would want to get people on the dance floor so they would stay at the club and wouldn't just leave. And there were 2 songs that they played every single time the comedy show let out. And I worked there every single weekend for almost 3 years. One of them was the Chumbawamba, the Tub Thumper song, one reason why I got old. The other one was the second one on my list. And it didn't occur to me until just right this second that these were the 2 songs. So I wasn't thinking about that when I picked the album. But Prince, Kiss, oh my gosh. When I first heard that song, it was just like, oh, Prince does it again. Just simplicity, genius, so unique. Nobody else sounds like him or whatever else. I cannot listen to half a verse of that song right now if my life depended on it. And again, the more I think about it, it was one of the songs they played every single night that comedy club let out. So that would be the second runner-up on my list as far as songs just got completely played out and I cannot stand anymore. This album as a whole is fantastic though, but can't stand that. And the number one song of all time that got so played out that I can't even really listen to it, don't even necessarily say I like it anymore. I respect it all the heck, but quite frankly, to sit and listen to it from front to back now is virtually impossible. And you guys know what I'm going to say. Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. I remember back in high school when I first was introduced to classic rock, and I thought that song was just the most, just the greatest thing that music has ever experienced. And I cannot remember the last time I listened to it. It's just so played out. Actually, you can almost say that about this whole album, dang near. Which again, it's kind of a backwards compliment, but it really is. I mean, it was that big, that great, and got jammed so much. It's like your system can only take so much. So those would be the albums I would say, or the song I would say, Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven, that was just overplayed and really killed it. Question number 5, VC grooming. When you do your videos, is there anything that you, do to get prepared for your videos and everything? Not really. I mean, typically the furthest I go to do anything with a video is probably maybe if I'm maybe wearing like a shirt from work or something like that. I'll put on one of my rock t-shirts. Pretty much almost I know not all, but almost all my videos I'm usually in some type of a rock and roll t-shirt or whatever. But that's pretty much what I'm kind of wearing around the house all day anyway. So outside of maybe putting on a t-shirt, that's nothing special from a grooming standpoint or anything of that nature. Don't have much to worry about up here. Even when I do need a cut up here, it still doesn't look like anything on camera. I'm sure you've seen me sometimes where I'm not shaving all the way or whatever the case may be, but it's VC, it's family. So anyway, MeanMr. Mayo, again, congrats on the 500 subs, my friend. Hope you enjoyed the Beatles in the background, and as always, VC, let me know what you think. All right, take care, guys.